So where was I? Oh yeah, rule number 12. Rule 12, pleadings, motions before trial, defenses, and objections. Pleadings, motions before trial, defenses, and objections. A, pleadings and motions. Pleadings shall consist of the indictment or information or complaint or summons and complaint, and the pleas are guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity and nolo contendere. Nolo contendere. All other pleas, that's an Alfred plea, right? No contest. They should just say no contest. Nolo contendere. All other pleas, demurrers, and motions to quash are abolished, and defenses and objections raised before trial, which heretofore could have been raised by one or more of them, shall be raised only by motion to dismiss or to grant appropriate relief as provided in these rules. B, the motion raising defenses and objections. 1. Defenses and objections which may be raised. Any defense or objection which is capable of determination without the trial of the general issue may be raised by motion. 2. Defenses and objections which must be raised. Defenses and objections based on defects in the institution of the prosecution, or in the indictment, or information, or complaint, or summons and complaint, other than that it fails to show jurisdiction in the court, or to charge an offense, may be raised only by motion. The motion shall include all such defenses and objections then available to the defendant. Failure to present any such defense or objection constitutes a waiver of it, but the court for cause shown may grant relief from the waiver. Lack of jurisdiction or the failure of the indictment or information to charge an offense shall be noticed by the court at any time during the proceeding when a motion challenging the constitutionality of the statute upon which the charge is based or asserting lack of jurisdiction is made after the commencement of the trial. The court shall reserve its ruling on that motion until the conclusion of the trial. And something else that Chief Michael Gonzalez does not know of the 12th Judicial District. You're allowed to, the point of the motions hearing is to bring up the defenses and the objections based on the defects in the institution of the prosecution. Defects in the institution of the prosecution. So process. You're not doing the 10-step process. You're going to go ahead and not do the 10-step process because why? Because you're on the side of the criminals? What a pile of shit. That motherfucker ignored felony after felony after felony. In the 12th Judicial District in Costilla County, if you're a working class, if you're a working class and you're a lawful person, do not go to Costilla County. They are hostile to working class lawful people. They can't stand it. I'm going to raise my family in an abuse-free household in a crime-free neighborhood, whether you motherfuckers like it or not. So, defects in the institution of the prosecution. Yeah, if you didn't give me all 10 steps, right? If you didn't give me, hey, you didn't do the advisement of the charges. You didn't do the motions hearing. You didn't do the pre-trial. You didn't do the preliminary hearing. You didn't do the... There's 10 steps. Only 10 fucking steps. So, the fact that they're going to cheat in the preliminary hearing is weighted towards them. The preliminary hearing is weighted towards them. Meaning that I get to cross-examine their evidence, but the court is supposed to essentially see the, thing from the prosecutor's eyes and the best. So essentially it's weighted. It's the preliminary hearing, just like the grand jury. It's okay. Okay. All right. And if you had a felony indictment from a grand jury, that's good law. That's good law. You had at least 9 people out of 12 that said that you committed a crime. Instead, they could have what? You have Troy, and then you got Kenny, and then you got Robert Pickrell. So the cops are protecting those criminals out there. They didn't say shit, didn't do shit. They committed felony menacing after felony menacing. And these hypocritical motherfuckers. This is insanity. I mean, I wish people acted right. I wish people treated. I wish people acted more like me. You do unto others the way you want, them to do to you. And so, I think the world would be a better place. There's polite, lawful, working class people that just good. Good, I want them. There's pile of shit criminal. No, I didn't want them. But the same reason why a criminal would fuck with you, then, okay, so, incredible. Yeah, go to Costilla County, they would arrest Anne Frank. Costilla County Police would arrest Anne Frank. Costilla County Police would arrest Frederick Douglass. Claudia Camacho stabbed the crap out of, they would have arrested the victims. That's what Costilla County does. Costilla County Police are fucking criminal motherfuckers. They are criminal piles of shit. Just wanted a nice, peaceful place to build my goddamn house so I could raise my family in an abuse-free household and neighborhood, in a crime-free neighborhood. That's too fucking much to ask for? Huh? Jesus Christ, y'all need to really check your fucking... What's he want? Crime-free neighborhood? Yeah, motherfucker. Stupid-ass piece of shit, hypocritical motherfuckers. They think that they get to hit you 300 times, and if you go to act like you're going to hit them back, they're going to act like that. That's the problem. The problem is you don't know right from wrong. The problem is you don't know right from wrong. The problem is you're an insecure fuck. You're not allowed to tell me how to. So since Chief Michael Gonzalez is so goddamn insecure when it comes to the law, you can't tell me the law. Motherfucker, I think there's a CRS says that you can't have first-degree murder, second-degree murder, no vehicular manslaughter. I want my citizens to read the law and have some sort of understanding. I'm not saying I know anything better than anybody else. What I am saying is that I came to Colorado and I'm a lawful person, so I read the rules. And you think you would want that from people, but when the cops come out there and they want to argue with you, that's not really harassment. That's not really this. That's not really that. You lazy pile of shit. You lazy pile of shit. You had no intention of goddamn protecting and serving the fucking neighborhood. Why the fuck are you a cop? Why are you a cop? They murdered my fucking puppy. Tecumseh didn't deserve that worth, at all. But that's who these pieces of shit are. That's who these pieces of shit are. They do felony fucking animal cruelty. It wasn't just my dog. They say ran over another person's dog. They shot a person's dog. You can't tell me the law. Yeah, I can tell you, motherfucker. You're not allowed to do vehicular manslaughter. You're not allowed to do felony animal cruelty. You're not allowed to. And then it's a rural area. Why is there so many goddamn crimes happening in a rural area? There's only population 10 to 20. I bet you it's there's 10 to 20 pieces of shit. All right, carrying on. So yeah, because the chief judge is an insecure pile of shit, you can't tell me the law. So the citizens aren't supposed to read the law. They're not supposed to have any understanding whatsoever of how this. I want my citizens reading the law, talking about the law, trying to figure out what the spirit of the law says. When I first moved to Costilla County, there was a neighbor that had dogs that would just sick everybody. If you drove by the house, they ran out to the damn road. They ran in front of your car, behind your car. And I really didn't know what the hell to do. I don't want to hurt anybody's dogs. I wish people just could act right. Now, I kind of think a little differently. Just keep on driving by. But it took me a second. I had to figure it out. Now, you think them motherfuckers that killed my puppy, you think they read the law? You think they said, what does the spirit of the law say we're allowed to do and not allowed to do? When they killed my puppy, that was fucking brilliant. If you're a piece of shit, if you're a wicked, evil piece of shit, Murder someone's puppy. Here, I think, you go to the neighborhood, you want to impress people, so bake them a cake, make them some blueberry pie, and also believe that you have to be some use to society, right? So you got to be a baker or a plumber or some shit. So be of some use to somebody. Also carry a civil society. Believe in democracy. Well, you want us to vote? And you think you know what harassment is? You better look up that rule, harassment. Yeah. I know you're fucking piles of shit. And when, I talked to one, piece of shit that eventually we had a falling out, but his argument was, if a police officer is in the neighborhood, then you have a right to assume that that person is a threat to you. And I'm the one that wanted good police officers. I wanted good government. I wanted a good system, a good criminal justice system, a criminal justice system that functions and operates out there. I was the only one. I was the only one that wanted it. And the reason why, they're not freaked out, well, they're criminals. So if somebody runs over their puppy, well, they'll just, do some criminal shit. And then just see wherever, let's just see how everything is, So yeah, of course, criminals, they're not going to call the police. They're criminals. And then that was another thing. Whenever the police would go out there, the criminals would just drive off into the woods for a minute and then wait for the police to leave. And then they would come right back out. And I'm watching this the whole time. The damn police are being tricked. They're being fucking fooled. And it's so stupid. It's like, God, they're going to be tricked by this stupid ass piece of shit. These dumb motherfuckers that done these, felony, shit, and also these dumb little piddly things. They're going to sit there and fight for their right to commit crimes? If they would have seen what was lawful, you have a right to petition, you have a right to remonstrate, you don't have a right to commit crimes. I would rather have a society full of lawful people, good, lawful people, people that are committed to goodness, treating, their neighbors as they would want themselves to be treated, and lawful people, good, lawful, moral, ethical people. Yeah, goddamn, I would much rather have that in my neighborhood than a bunch of fucking white trash pieces of shit. A bunch of white trash motherfuckers. A bunch of white male motherfucking pieces of shit. A bunch of racist fucking goddamn selfish fucking greedy insecure fucking piece of shit motherfuckers. A bunch of pro-child abuse racist piles of shit. Anti-orderly development of planning and zoning. Anti any kind of civil society. Any kind of progress. What, do you want us to vote? And it fucking sucks because it's like, Jesus Christ, I feel like supposed to what? Fight for democracy for these fucking pieces of shit? Don't vote, motherfucker. You shouldn't vote. You should not vote. Nor, you couldn't be part of a civil society if you tried. So yeah, here I'm going to just reread. I'm reading all these rules for Michael Gonzalez. I don't know if you're paying attention. This is the rules for the criminal procedure. This is, this is where I get the rules for the criminal procedure. You can't go to law school. You got to go to law school for 3 years to know that you're not allowed to go kick people. Hey, don't kick people. Only I get to say that because I went to law school. No, motherfucker. Nobody's allowed to kick anybody. The rule of law, Michael Gonzalez, is everybody has to follow the law. Everybody, including you. Including you. You can't go kicking people. You can't go committing crimes. You've been hiding these criminals. My God, you would think the way that Michael Gonzalez sits in the court just on high like he's better than everybody, you would think he would have the power to do something, the power to stop these criminals. But he doesn't. For 2 fucking years, these criminals have been doing whatever the hell they want to do. The cops shrug their shoulders, so the system ain't shit. The system ain't shit. The system just rubber stamps whatever the fucking fascists, motherfuckers in badges. Those who run forces are the same that runs crosses. So those who run forces are the same that burn crosses. So the three branches of government are a bunch of fucking, twats, a bunch of fucking pieces of shit, fucking useless pieces of shit. And they need their bouncers, and they need their muscle men, they need their goons. They need their goons. Because they're not going to go arrest the people. They're not going to stop any of the criminals. And when the goons are afraid, or when the goons are, too stupid to fucking turtle trick them motherfuckers. And then as soon as the police would leave, not only would they come back, but they're calling, they're driving around, they're still doing the shit that they were doing beforehand. So frankly, if you're driving around my house acting like you're going to commit crimes, I think, I'm allowed to fire a warning shot. Because if you come up into my house, if you come up onto my property, if you actually want to hurt my person, or, you go to commit a major crime, you need to know that I'm a Coloradan American and I'm prepared to defend myself. Home, person, and property. That's what it says in the Bill of Rights of Colorado. You're driving around here acting like you're going to commit crimes and shit, motherfucker. That's disorderly conduct, right? At the very least, stupid ass piece of shit cop. If you just fucking do your damn job, you piece of shit cop, piece of shit, do your damn. They'll say disorderly on you, but they won't do their fucking job. They're scared of the criminals. They would rather go after the nice, lawful people. That's easier. So would the criminals. The criminal cops, the criminal citizens. Yeah, they need goddamn suckers to exploit. They need to step on the necks of the working class. They need to exploit the working class. It's the only way that they're going to do anything. They can't do anything for themselves, make something for themselves. Michael Gonzalez don't add anything to the GDP. Defenses and objections based on the defects in the institution of the prosecution. Defects in the institution of the prosecution. Yeah, when you skip a motions hearing or a preliminary hearing or a dispositional hearing, and then again they threw a fucking sham disposition. Here's a disposition, and their disposition is, we're trying to fuck you over. No olive branch, huh? Nah, we're anti-Christian, anti-family, and pro-crime over here. Okay, great DA, great progressive DA. You would think a progressive DA would be opposed to the crime. That would be a nice change of pace, wouldn't it? There's victims' rights, and then they give the criminals the victims' rights. Well, they're criminals, They deserve victims' rights, too. What? What the hell are you saying? Or in the indictment or information, defects in the institution of the prosecution. That would be process. And then it says, if I don't, failure to present all the defenses and objections constitutes a waiver of it. He acted like it was just a motion to suppress. That's all you could do. You could only do motions to suppress at the motions hearing. I also did all that damn work. You couldn't give me a minute. You couldn't give me one fucking minute, huh, motherfucker? Fucking worked hours and hours on them goddamn motions. Couldn't give me a fucking minute. I went to law school because you had the money, motherfucker. You had the opportunity to do so. I don't have the opportunity. So, because I don't have the opportunity and to be a good citizen, you read the fucking rules. What kind of... It'd be like playing a basketball game and then just, kicking people in the nuts and then declaring yourself the winner. That's not how you play the game, and, you're a violent piece of shit. Who the fuck needs a person like you? Definitely not going to play no basketball game with you again. What? That's due process. I get to kick you in the nuts. That's due process. Yep. Stupid motherfuckers, man. Mean, shitty, stupid, evil, wicked motherfuckers. Defenses and objections based on the defects in the institution of the prosecution or the indictment or information or complaint or summons and complaint. Other than that, it fails to show jurisdiction in the court or to charge an offense may be raised only by motion. The motion shall include all such defenses and objections then available to the defendant. Failure to present any such defense or objection constitutes a waiver of it, but the court for cause shown may grant relief from the waiver. Lack of jurisdiction or the failure of the indictment or information to charge an offense shall be noticed by the court at any time during the proceeding. Lack of jurisdiction or the failure of the indictment or information to charge an offense shall be noticed by the court at any time during the proceeding when a motion challenging the constitutionality of the statute upon which the charge is based or asserting lack of jurisdiction is made after the commencement of the trial. The court shall reserve its ruling on that motion until the conclusion of the trial. Yeah, I told him that. I let him know that part. I'm not for sure if he ever got to rule number. He didn't read rule 5, so I'm sure he didn't get to rule 12. Number 3, time of making motion. The motion shall be made within 21 days following arraignment. Hearing on motion. Number 4, a motion before trial raising defenses or objections shall be determined before the trial unless the court orders that it be deferred for determination at the trial of the general issue except as provided in Rule 41. An issue of fact shall be tried by a jury if a jury trial is required by the Constitution or by statute. All other issues of fact shall be determined by the court with or without a jury or on affidavits or in such other manner as the court may direct. Number 5, effect of determination. If the motion is determined adversely to the defendant, he shall be permitted to plead if he has not previously pleaded. A plea previously entered shall stand. A plea previously entered shall stand. CRCP 12. CRCP 12. Rule 12.1, notice of alibi repealed. 1985. No notice of alibis. Rule 12.1 is gone. So there's only Rule 12. Coming up next, Rule 13. Trial together of indictments, informations, complaints, summons, and complaints. Rule 13 here is coming up. It's going to be good.